Welcome to Friendly Differences 2.0. I am your outspoken host, Dread Empath, and with me, as always,
Solid Blue Sister.
yes. And on today's cold, rainy Saturday, at least it is here in Pennsylvania,
And it is
we
here in
bringing it.
California.
All right, so you know what? Separate sides of the country, same issues. How are you, Solid?
I am good. I am good. And I'm looking forward to this show. And I hope that we have comments from everyone because this is a show that I think that everybody needs to comment. So,
Yes, people. Today we are going to talk about the C word. Context doesn't matter. And we are definitely going to talk about the man that everybody loves to hate and the people that everybody loves. No, everybody don't love him. But Trump, he said over the past week that if he does not get elected, it will be a bloodbath. He was giving a rally. He was talking about the auto industry. And of course, his people are backpedaling, doubling down, saying he was talking about the auto industry, Chinese tariffs, so on and so forth. But should we be taking the word bloodbath seriously? Because context matters. Solid?
okay. So let's be fair. Okay. Let's be fair. So before we start going on and say that, that people were getting a little bent out of shape on both sides. We're going to play a video that was posted by someone on the right, and they were very clear to the liberals how they felt. So we're going to go ahead and play this, and it's Trump's full speech. So here we go.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine.
All right. So when it cut off with a friend of mine, and you want to go to that TikTok, you can go to that TikTok, okay? Because I did not cut it off. This is exactly what this person posted.
Okay.
So
and I found this clip, by the way. That is the whole clip. So, nobody is being, as we were called last week, nobody is being disingenuous. Nobody is being dishonest. That is the clip. And as you can see, that is from C-SPAN. C-SPAN is one of the non-biased news outlets. It's not like Fox. It's not like CNN. C-SPAN is going to show everything unedited. So, yeah.
okay. So and also before we go on to, we got to say all this stuff, before we go on, because we did, when we posted the promo on this for this show, we did ask if anyone wants to be a part of the show. You are more than welcome. We just ask that you do come on video and that you are respectful. So we have to put that out there before, if you guys want to attack us. See, for me, if you want to attack me, that is fine. I don't care, because like someone said in a space I was in last night, haters are going to hate. and that's on both sides, be you Democrat, Republican, independent, black, brown, purple, green, whatever. So if you're not going to like somebody, you're not going to like them. You don't want to hear their views, you won't. So me, it's like, I listen to everybody. I may not agree, but I do listen until people start getting nasty and mean and start calling people out of their name. So,
Amen.
Having said that, I do believe that Trump went a little bit off script when he did say that he was talking about President Xi and about the autos, whatever. And then he kind of went off script and said, well, it's going to be a bloodbath if I don't win. Then he came back on to the auto thing. So the bloodbath thing, for me, he was not talking about the cars and the auto and all the other stuff. To me, it was like, if he does not win, if you took out all the auto stuff, if he does not win, it's going to be a bloodbath, and not just a political bloodbath, but a physical bloodbath in this country. So that's how I took it.
Well, I pick apart everything because I am an overthinker. First of all, he's saying that you're not going to build auto plants in Mexico and not hire Americans. Mexico is not an American territory. So, okay, that's one. Number two, if you caught it, he said, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. That'll be the least of the troubles. So when people say things about context, and here is why it says, I say, yes, context matters. But when you're running for the president of the United States, and I know that we're going to get the comments and, do what you will, be respectful. Please check your spelling and your grammar, because I'm going to check it for you. You do not get to say whatever you want to say when you are the president or you are running for president of the United States. And I remember us speaking about this. Trump's base, I'm not sorry to say, they have the propensity to be aggressive. They have the propensity to threaten people. We saw that on January 6th. We saw that in different clips around just from 2016 to 2020 of people threatening people of color, telling Mexicans to go back to their country, so on and so forth. So I say all of this to say that we all have, if you and I have to be careful with our words, why shouldn't he? I can't go to my place of employment and say, if Trump wins, it's going to be a bloodbath, because I'm not going to play around. If I say that, I have to go to HR. Do I not? I don't care about context. I'm going to get talked to.
This is true.
If I have to watch what I say, in high schools, in schools, period, a child cannot say a certain thing without it being a lockdown. So if everyone else has to watch what they say, why doesn't he have to watch what he says? And speaking of what he said, anybody catch what he said about the Jewish people?
Well, hold on. I want to stick with this context thing, whatever. So, if you don't mind, I would like to play the clip again, because we said some things that we pointed out, and I want to play the clip again so people can pick up what we pointed out, and if they saw any difference, whatever. Again, I'm just trying to stay with fairness and context and whatever. So, if you don't mind. So
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine.
Okay, so he did say, in my opinion, on that side note, well, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. Then he jumped back into the auto thing. So again, like you said, context does matter. And when you are in public office or you're just in the public period, there are certain things that you cannot say, and you do have to watch what you say.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're supposed to be the president or the prime minister or whomever of everyone.
Right.
So, you can't pick and choose. And yeah.
But even absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's not the only one that has to watch what he says. Senators, governors,
absolutely,
mayors, they all have to watch what they say. They all have to, quote unquote be the example. Yeah, everyone's gonna do what they want to do. Yes. But these are positions of power where one utterance of a word of anything could give people the idea that a certain action is okay. I've told you this before, Solid, and I've said it on here, that I was in a live on TikTok and a Trump supporter said to me, if Trump does not get elected, January 6th is going to look like a walk in the park. See what happens if he doesn't get elected. Now, of course, we have people that hide behind computer screens, phones, and what have you. But think about the prior rhetoric that he has spoken, that he has spewed to make someone comfortable enough to say that. Raise your hand if you heard anyone say, if Obama didn't get elected, this was going to happen. See what's going to happen. Raise your hand if you've heard any people or person who voted for Biden say, if Biden doesn't get elected, this is what's going to happen. See what happens if he doesn't get elected. We haven't heard that. But you can hear that from a Trump supporter. Oh, you've heard it? Talk to me.
No. I was just going to say that, to be fair again, y'all, I'm trying to be fair here. Biden did say, and we're going to discuss this probably next week because his turn is coming up too on the show. He did say, if you don't vote for me, you not black. And it's like, what? So so we're gonna go down memory lane with Biden too. But no, I totally get what you're saying, Dred. I totally get. And I have heard people say that if Trump doesn't win, basically we're gonna be in the middle of either another civil war or a race war. And if it does start, my question is, who's gonna start it? So who's going to start it? I'm going to leave that out there in the universe to fill in the blank. So yes, Ace, that was a total turn off comment from Biden.
Yes, it was.
It was completely a turn off. But let's talk about some more turn off comments, because right now we're talking about Trump and his context and his bloodbath. So and Sabrina, welcome back.
Now let's get to that turn off comment, because so Biden lost a lot of cool points, and he ain't have many to begin with, when he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Right. But Trump just said, if Jewish people don't vote for him, they don't care about their religion, because the Democrats are against Israel.
Well, you're kind of paraphrasing, so let's play it so
I'm
we can get the
paraphrasing.
exact thing of what he said on a podcast, y'all. And again, we're not making this stuff up.
No, we're not.
This is what he said, and yes, it is coming off of MSNBC, y'all. So anybody who wants to say that, yeah, the liberals and the left and fake news and all this other stuff, let's just take a listen.
Donald Trump says that any Jewish American who votes for Democrats hates their religion and hates Israel. The 2024 Republican nominee made those comments yesterday during a podcast interview.
Why do the Democrats hate Bibi Netanyahu?
I actually think they hate Israel.
Yes.
I don't think they hate it. I think they hate Israel. When you see those Palestinian marches, even I'm amazed at how many people are in those marches. And guys like Schumer see that, and to him it's votes. I think it's votes more than anything else, because he was always pro-Israel. He's very anti-Israel now. Any Jewish person that votes for Democrats hates their religion, they hate everything about Israel, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
I mean, Chuck Schumer has spent, Donnie Deutsch, his entire life the victim of anti-Semitic tropes because he has been such a fierce defender of Israel. Now suddenly Donald Trump decides that he again will determine, Donald Trump will determine who is a bad Jew and who is an enemy of Israel. Your thoughts?
I think out of all the things that Donald Trump has ever said that have offended my core, this is it. How dare you, Donald Trump, tell me what it takes to be a good Jew and not be a good Jew, and what it takes to love Israel and not love Israel. First of all, you stand for nothing what Judaism is all about being a decent human being, about being kind to others. You are the farthest thing from what anybody should say what a good Jew is or isn't.
Okay. So, first, can I just make a comment about the Breakfast Club? I am so not a Charlemagne the God fan. So whatever. So I will go on the Breakfast Club saying stuff to him that may be disrespectful to people, because I am so not. I just no. But anyway, that's another show. But anyway, all right. So considering the fact that the United States, both left and right administrations throughout the years, have given millions upon millions upon millions of money to Israel, which I disagree with. I do not believe we need to support them. I do believe that Netanyahu is a bad person. I do believe that he does not even give a crap about his own people. I also believe, before everybody jumps on me with that, I also believe we should not give money to the Ukraine. We should not give money to any other country except for the United States of America, period. This is where our money needs to go, because we have people here who need help, and everybody else, y'all go to somebody else's place,
backyard,
country to get your money. But to say that, any Jewish person that votes Democrat, I mean, seriously? So my question is, if I was a Jewish person who was thinking about voting Republican in November, did you just turn me off to go back to the Democrats, or even stay home? So, I mean, seriously, do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? Dread.
What's going to bother me is the double standard, because we still have Trump supporters saying that, oh, Biden is racist because he said if you don't vote for him, you're not black. But isn't that the same sort of thing that Trump just said? Pretty much, if you don't vote for me, you hate Israel. If you don't vote for me, you hate Israel. You hate being a Jew. So I want to see how they're going to spin that, because that first clip that we had, depending on who you talk to, You're taking it out of context. No, he said it's going to be a bloodbath. That's going to be the least of their troubles. So there's nothing to take out of context. So to be fair, we can say, okay, that could have been taken out of context. It could have not been taken out of context. But there is no way to take this out of context. None at all. For you to pretty much try to dictate what makes someone a bad Jew or a good Jew if they don't vote for you. Yeah, you just did the same thing that Joe Biden did. You tried to speak for a whole group of people that you can't speak for.
True.
And
True.
I want to see how this plays out. Because you're absolutely right. We are, and like I said, it's so asinine because once again, Trump is proving that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. You're talking about, oh, they're building plants in Mexico, but they're not any Americans. Is that an American territory? You're the president of the United States. You don't know that? You don't know that?
I mean, but they also, build Toyota in Japan. So how many Americans are in Japan building cars? I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
Exactly.
I mean, it does not make sense. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And here's the thing. He's saying that if you vote Democrat, you hate Israel. When how many years have we been funding Israel? No matter what president is there is a treaty in place that the United States funds Israel. Those are facts. Those are facts. Obama gave money to Israel. Bush gave money to Israel. Trump gave money to Israel. He might not have understood the documents that he was reading, but yes, sir, you gave money to Israel as well. Now Biden is giving money to Israel. The only difference between then and now is that the revolution is being televised. Mm-hmm. We're able to see, yes, this is what the United States has been funding. Mm-hmm. And truth be told, we have Jewish people who totally stand against Netanyahu and what he has done to the Palestinian people. See, the problem with Trump is he doesn't know how to walk and chew gum at the same time. I don't know how the man breathes and walks at the same time. But he doesn't understand that you can I'm drawing a blank. You can love your country and hate their actions. There are plenty of Jewish people that's like, no, this is wrong. What they're doing is wrong. And what they won't show you are the Jewish people with the dual citizenship that are leaving Israel. They can denounce the actions of their government and still love their country. I denounce the actions of my government when they go to other countries and they bomb innocent people for the sake of oil and money. I can denounce the actions of my government, but still love my country. It's called being able to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, no, it's also, called that you're not this is a 70s term. You're not a Stepford wife. Every Stepford child, or however you want to put it now, that you have the ability to think on your own while still disagreeing with whatever, and you just look at these countries, and I also want to point out that people say if you're for some people, if you're for Palestine, you are for Hamas. No, that doesn't mean what it means, because the Palestinians, the Israelis have been taking land and killing Palestinians for decades. And in the 40s, with the help of the British people, Palestine lost a lot of their land. So it's not like this is something that's new. Palestine has been fighting for their democracy and their rights against Israel for a very long time. And
Yes.
do we forget when Carter went over there and he brokered the deal between Menachem Begin and I can't remember the other guy's name.
It's okay.
But
It's
it's like, Jimmy Carter went over there and he's like, okay, y'all, we have Palestinians over here, we got the Israelis over here. Can we all get along as
right.
So but then we have people like Netanyahu who comes along and they're like, no, we're not gonna do this. We just gonna take. Just like Putin. He wants the Ukraine. Just take. You have countries and you have people who just want stuff. Take.
Right.
You had the settlers who came over here and it was Native American land. We want it. Take. So at what point, y'all, do we just all live together? There's a slice of pie for everybody. But again, like Dredd said, what Trump just said about the Jewish people and Democrats is no different from what Biden said about Black people not being Black if you don't vote for him. What's the difference? I don't see any.
Oh, I don't see any either. And I find it to be just as harmful. But see, that's just it. When we say, yeah, it was racist, we don't like what he said, period. But how many of them you're not going to see Trump supporters yelling at Jewish people, oh, Trump said that if you don't vote for him, you hate your religion. They're going to tell them, get over it. Still vote for him. That's the hypocrisy. That's what I'm not going to be able to get with, because here's the thing. They expect us to vote for Trump because of what Biden said, but they're going to expect the Jewish people to vote for Trump despite what he said about them. They're not going to say vote for Biden because of what Trump said, but they expect us to vote for Trump because of what Biden said. It's asinine.
It is.
It really is.
It is. And it just doesn't make any sense. I am looking for this man's name. This is bugging me.
And I want to piggyback on what you said about everybody having a slice of the pie. It all boils down to greed.
It's always greed.
But look who they follow. Look who they worship. They follow one of the men who are as greedy as they come. This man has swindled people out of money, and anybody who wants to battle that with me, I'm from Jersey. He had a whole casino. He had contracts that he did not honor. It's all public record, all the times that he's been sued for not paying people for work that they did. So please keep your comments to yourself, because I can provide proof. The question is, can you? And again, Jersey native, I don't know how you bankrupt a casino. One of the most lucrative businesses in the US is a casino. How you bankrupt a casino, I don't know, but I digress. What is the slogan? Take America back. What do you mean take America back? Who took it from who? What did anybody take from you? Your ability to call people the N-word in the middle of the street? Your ability to yell at Mexican people who you think are illegal because they have an accent, but they've probably been here for 25 years and work harder than you? Take America back. That's fun, because you know what? They gave y'all back Florida, and then the economy damn near collapsed in Florida because y'all pushed the Mexicans and the migrants out, and then nobody wanted to go pick watermelons or avocados or do construction or go clean the hotels. Yeah, whole economy collapsed because you wanted to take America back.
Point taken. Point taken. But we are gonna have to do a show on immigration. So And
Y'all
just
heard
and just so you know, I am not for immigration at all. So anybody who's gonna watch this show later in the comments and say, "Oh, y'all this, y'all that," no. But anyway, for illegal immigration, but no, but you bring a good point, because when you say take America back for whom? Because you have people, the people who came across and they landed on Ellis Island. You talking about taking America back for them, for your ancestors who, they came over here too, and we came over here on a boat too, but we came over on a different boat, so who are we taking America back for? Because if anything, we should be working for a better America for our children, but I don't see that. I don't see our children getting anything out of what's coming out of America now. And I say that not just on the left or on the right. I'm just saying, just the nastiness that's coming out of this country right now is like.
But see, here's the thing, because this show is all about context. So I remember hearing Take America Back 2024. And I said, what exactly does that mean? Take it back from the Democrats? Because whether we like it or not, as long as we have a two-party system, which is the Republicans and the Democrats, it's always going to be a ping pong. For 4 years, for 4 to 8 years, we're gonna have a Republican. For 4 to 8 years, we're gonna have a Democrat. It's always gonna be one or the other, one or the other, one or the other. So you brought up something that said about the boat and their ancestors, and I might get some hate for this. It's funny. They complain about the illegals, the Mexicans, don't let these people in, don't let those people in. They're bringing drugs and crime. But can we go back to when the Italians landed here? The Italians, the Sicilians, they created the mob, y'all. The mob. Nobody, and that's the funny part, because I don't think that back then they were saying, oh, look at all this white on white crime. But they created the mob. And no, Italian Americans as a whole did not make up the mafia. But let me show y'all how Take America Back or Make America Great Again is a bunch of nonsense. The Italians and the Irish. Remember, once upon a time, black people and other people of color were not able to have civil service jobs. So the Italians and the Irish, what did they dominate? They dominated the police department. They dominated the fire department. They dominated the unions. They dominated the railroad. To this day, any corporation you go to, who's dominating? White males. So what exactly are you taking back? Who took anything from you when y'all haven't given anything? You give a few black people, Hispanic people jobs so that you can expand your diversity portfolio, but you're not making it so 50% of your corporate people are black and Hispanic and the other 50% are white. So what are you taking back when you haven't given anything?
No, and then you make a good point. And Sabrina also makes a good point. She says, we really have never had a president completely representative of all people and situations, but only the presidential election is based on electorals, and every vote is part of the voice of the people. And that's true, because electoral vote system needs to go away. It needs to go to the popular vote. Yeah, that is what it needs to be. I understand the electoral votes back when there were 13 small little colonies, but the country has grown so much that the electoral vote system should have been abolished probably before the beginning of the 20th century. But absolutely. Again, if we do the popular vote, the right is afraid of the popular vote because the right has not won a popular vote in the last 9 elections. You look at that if you look at the popular vote in 2016, Hillary Clinton would have been president. You look at the popular vote in 2020, it would have been no, oh, stole this, stole that. No, Biden won.
Oh, he would
You
have lost
know,
by a
I mean,
landslide. Yeah.
you look at the popular vote in you know, in 2012. I mean, just you can go all the way back.
Right.
You know, so Sabrina, when you say that we have not had a president who has been representative of everyone, you're right. You're absolutely right. And honestly, I don't think that we've had a president that was representative of Black people. And I'm going to get some crap on this, and I'm going to include President Obama in that category.
Here we go. What are you about to say? That all he did was pander to the gay people? Because I'm sick
Well,
of hearing
no,
that
because
too.
I don't think he pandered to the gay people until the very end of his term. I mean, when he was leaving for his second term. And I think he only did that when he, you know, I know we're getting off track on Trump, but I think that Obama only lit up the White House, you know, in the rainbow colors because he had to. It was, you know, I don't think that Obama was ever he was not comfortable with the amount of pressure that was put on him by Black people. I think Black people expecting him to go in the office like, okay, so you Black, so you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and I never thought that was fair. But on the other hand, I think that he walked a very, very tight rope, a very, very thin rope that he was always like, whatever. But I don't think that he was out there like, oh yeah, I'm down with Black people. No, I don't.
Okay. Marlon says the president isn't supposed to be for the people. Honestly, what president in history was ever about the people? The president is a representative in the hierarchy of the world.
But technically, the president was supposed to be about the people. Technically,
Yeah.
when George Washington, you know, when he stepped down after that second term and said, you know, no person should, you know, have more than 2 terms because no person, you know, I'm not a king and whatever. The president was supposed to be for the people. Over years, it has changed, but the presidency was supposed to be for the people. But unfortunately, even in George Washington's time, the president was never for all the people because President Washington and others like him had slaves. So how are you going to be for everybody?
Have
And
slaves.
Thomas Jefferson is saying we the people for the people, and we all created equal when you're not treating everyone as equal. So right out the gate, this country was founded on a system that was not for everyone.
I can get behind that. I can. And I think that he is right. Yes, they are supposed to be for the people. And I get so much heat for this when I tell people President Obama was not the president of Black people. He's the president of the United States. Now, I get it that they like, oh, but all the other presidents do things for white people. I said, no, they do things for rich people, not white people. Because truth be told, poverty is not a race is not a race thing. It's a class thing. And you have people of all shades who are worried about where their next meal is coming from. Now, here's the issue I have since we're on Trump and the election is that I'm seeing more Black people. Oh, yeah, we need to get Trump back in here. Why? Why? The economy. Do your research. They just celebrated that our economy is going up. Do your research. Who are you listening to? There's no context for that. Or you instead of scrolling Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, why don't you get on the New York Stock Exchange? Why don't you look at the Wall Street Journal? Why don't you read something other than what's going on TikTok or whatever? You would find out that our economy is growing. Now, a lot
Did we lose Dread? Did we lose Dread? Okay. she did freeze, excuse me. All right, so she is going to pop back in. I gotta put this up there because that was funny. Oh boy. No, she is coming back in. Marlon, I do think that you do have a good point in terms of having a show on the Electoral College, because that is something that needs to be addressed. And Sabrina says, right, the president is not the superpower God, chosen emperor and savior of the world. But it's unfortunate that you have people who think that way, and not just with Trump. I mean, when Obama was in office, you had people who were like, oh, Obama, you know. And I think that every president along the way has their, oh my goodness, he's the best person ever. Because when Reagan was president, I mean, you know, you would have thought that he was God, you know. But again, these people are not God. These are human beings. These are people who they bleed, you know. You poke them, they might say ouch, you know. So these people are not God. Welcome back.
I lost you. You lost me.
No, you froze.
I froze. I thought you froze.
No, everyone said, whoop, she froze.
Okay, there's two she's on here. Okay, I am not a man. I'm a lady.
And everyone's like, welcome back, Dread. Welcome back, Dread.
My apologies. I'm looking at my computer right now. It says we have a wind advisory. My lights haven't started flickering yet, but my apologies.
Well, you are back, but that is fine.
I was saying that people, like, is Trump selling these people wooden nickels? Because he has them thinking that he's going to get in and all of the economical problems that we have are going to go away. And I'm trying to figure out, you know what, Ace, whatever. I'll deal with you later.
Oh boy.
Solid, when I first started driving, which was years ago, gas was $2.20. $2.20. Now gas is $3 and where I live, it's $3.45. In Jersey, the lowest I've seen it is $3.19. I'm trying to figure out what these people think is going to happen if Trump gets elected. Do they think
but again, I'm playing both sides here. When Trump was in office, gas prices were down.
Yes, they were.
For a certain period of time, and we need to talk about that certain period of time. Gas prices were down mainly during COVID, when people were at home and people were not driving, and the demand for fuel was not there, so prices came down. So, but that's what people remember. They don't remember the gas prices between 2017 and the beginning of COVID. They just remember the prices of gas, you know, in 20 and 21. You know, but again, people were at home. People were not driving. So, and when you think about it, how many things, and I'm not talking about stores, like when you go into the stores, like you went into Walmart or Target, whatever, where prices started to creep up and whatever. But I'm talking about if you went into some stores, they were almost giving stuff away because they wanted to sell it. Yeah. So, you know, prices, because people were not, they were at home. So right. you have to think about that, but people don't want to think about it. You know, they only want to go so far, and then they stop. You know, right. Just like when we were talking about the January 6th last week, and I was reading the comments after the show, and now again, I know that there's lurkers here now because I'm looking how many people we have in the room, and
Wow, this is gonna be fun.
and we have these lurkers, but then they come back next week, or back to on the replay, and then they put in their comments, but it's like they want to stop at, well, look at what happened in Baltimore in 2020. Look at what happened there. But why don't y'all go a little bit further in 2020? Why don't we talk about the churches that were bombed, the cities that were completely bombed and destroyed, and people who were killed? Let's talk about the lynchings, the cross burnings, whatever. And let's still talk about people who are disappearing and what have you when you go to Mississippi and Tennessee, whatever. So we don't talk about it, talk about the whole. So when y'all talk about gas prices, let's look at everything. Let's look at everything and what caused certain things, because COVID did a lot to a lot of people.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it exposed a lot of people. You see, here's the thing. People had too much time on their hands. They had too much time on their hands, and all the while they were listening to podcasts. They were on YouTube creating their own podcast, just spewing off whatever it is that they wanted to say. And when you have someone such as Trump, who is a demagogue, who exploits the feelings, emotions, and fears of a certain group of people, this is what you have. They tell us that we're taking things out of context. Now, Solid, I don't know how many times in this episode you've said, to be fair, in the interest of being fair, we will still get someone in these comments that'll make it seem like everything we said was a lie, even though we played a clip twice, played another clip of his voice. They'll still say we took it out of context.
Well, anyone who's watching right now, who's a lurker, who's going to come back and put in comments after the show, we invite you to come up on the show now. We invite you. We invite anyone who is watching, who is a guest, to come on the show. And our moderators are there. They will be watching. They will be making sure that things stay the way it should. But I'm going to put the link in. I am going to put the link in. So hold on.
I have to go to work tonight, but I got time.
So if you want to come up, we are inviting guests.
Yes.
So we're asking our moderators to refrain. We are asking guests to come up, because I want to hear what you have to say, and you have to be on camera. If you're not on camera, you will not be allowed to come up.
Look at this smile. It's so warm and inviting. Come on.
And Miss Dread, this is why I said beforehand, because I knew that was going to happen. I knew that comment was going to come up.
What comment?
So and again, it's like, Dreadnought, we want to talk to you. We want to go have a back and forth. We want to have this, but instead, what happened? We got people who came in later, and said, after the first 10 minutes, I had to do this, I had to leave, and it's like, come in now. Let us know. Let's have this talk. If we disagree, because apparently we are.
But see, Solid, they're not going to do that, because just like I told a couple of people in our comments,
what Sabrina said.
Funny how the numbers die when you invite. Yeah, because they're gonna come back later, like they did last week. And guess what? It is who you vote for is your prerogative. You have a right to your opinion. I can't argue your opinion. That's yours. But one thing that I will not sit by quietly about is being called a liar. Because before Solid and I get on the air, we have quite a few conversations throughout the week via text and via phone. We go through videos so that we can give you everything. I don't like for anybody, I don't mind someone correcting me, hey, you got this wrong, you got that wrong. But for people to say you guys are spreading misinformation, how? How did we spread misinformation? How have we ever spread misinformation? And I invited people in the comments. I went back. I said, you are more than welcome to come on our show and present your evidence. Nobody wanted
You know what?
to say
It's not
anything.
even presenting the evidence. You all are welcome to come on the show to present your opinion. If you want to push back and have your opinion, that's fine. But have a discussion. I'm not asking that you all go out and say, okay, well, on page 5 and section 24C, whatever. I mean, I don't need that. But if y'all want to come on and just talk and have a discussion, but nobody wants to do that. But instead, we will get dragged after this, which is fine too.
Well, Solid, speak for yourself, because you call me a liar. You need to prove that I'm lying about whatever it is that I said. So I don't mind opinions, but you call me a liar. I want to see proof of what I lied about. No, your opinion. See, an opinion is that red dress is ugly. That's an opinion. That red dress is too small for me because it's an extra small. That's a fact. You can't argue with a fact.
Well, I have a lot of opinions. And people who know me, I tend to throw out a lot of opinions, because one thing that I'm not going to do, and this is where Dread and I are different in some ways, whatever. I'm not going to argue with somebody, because it is a waste of my time. So if you want to come up here and argue with Dread, then that's fine. But why you
make it seem like I want to smoke?
No. But I'm just saying, because people that know me, and I can hear somebody right now who if they're watching this is saying, see, I told you, fact, because I am an opinion person. And I listen, like I said, I will listen to what everybody has to say. I will either agree or I will disagree. But I'm not going to argue with you, because it is a waste of my time. And I would just sit back and say, okay, that is fine. And I'm going to move on. But you have some people who just get so, oh my God, you don't agree with me. And they just get so upset. I mean, I had somebody who just literally went off on me because they asked me, let me ask you this. Would you vote for Biden a second time? I said yes. How could you vote for Biden? I mean, literally just went screaming at me. And I'm like, seriously? I mean, that is what I'm talking. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I got
you. And
so,
I
no. And I'm not just talking. I'm talking to the people who are out there. So this is what I'm saying. Just come on, and we just talk to us. Just talk to us.
Well, we gave them.
I have to read. I have to read what A said. Dread, stop playing like you won't have the argument death match. We all know that you go for the juggler. Reason. Oh Lord.
I was on the debate team in high school. Okay. So they drilled into our head, when you are debating, facts, no opinions, facts.
And that's why I don't debate. That is why I don't debate, because I will turn around and say, well, I think this and blah, 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 blah. Because you can tell me that the sky is blue. And if I wake up tomorrow and I think that the sky is red, then I think that is red. So, but again, I'm just saying
I'll let
that
you have your delusions.
and that is fine. And what some people on the right may feel that people on the left are delusional. People on the left think that people on the right are. But can we just get in the room and be delusional at one time and not scream and holler at each other? So
I promise
again,
I won't scream at it.
no, I mean, and I just say this again because when people watch this on the replay and we get our comments, we invited you guys to come up.
Yes, we
That's
did.
all I'm saying.
And on that note, folks, we want to thank you for being with us on another Saturday. Truly appreciate you. The lurkers, the non-lurkers, if you're here, hey, whether we agree or disagree, it's all love. It's all open dialogue. And guess what? That invitation will always stand for y'all to come and have a dialogue. And always remember to keep it in context. Solid.
That's it. So on that note, y'all, thank you for giving up your Saturday. Peace.